We are live. Greetings, greetings, family. Sister Shanice in the house alongside Dr. Abu and Sister Sheila. So we are looking forward to another really interesting discussion today. Alongside Dr. Abu and Sister Sheila. It has automatically come on back here. Okay, right, sort that out. We have a number of guests that are going to be joining us throughout the evening, and as they prepare and get themselves settled, I will be bringing them on screen. So rise up. Queen Niger is going to be popping in as well. She's in the house and in the chat. I can see rise up, Queen Niger. And Dr. Abu, good to see you as always. It was your Earth Strong a couple of days ago.
Oh. Yeah, on Monday, you know. But give thanks, you know. Today is Wednesday. I will give thanks for life. You know. That's why we have to support the young people that they can even reach to our age and beyond. You know?
Yes.
You know, see it, you know. But give thanks. I remember when I was young. Still feel it.
We wonder where the years and the days go. I can see Sister Nzinga just settling herself behind screen. So as soon as she's ready, are you ready, Sister Nzinga? Let's bring you on. Are you settled? Let's bring on Sister Nzinga. Rise up, sis.
Greetings, family.
Coming through loud and clear.
Greetings.
Good to have you in the house.
Happy Heartstrong, Dr. Abu.
My
granddaughter is 30 on Friday.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
So, family in the chat, as you come in and as you join us, please do let us know that you're in the house. Let us know where you're watching us from. Whereabouts in the world are you logged on and viewing us from? Each Strong, we have a global audience, and we so appreciate love our audience. We, want to extend our reach to the four corners of the globe. So yeah, let us know how we're doing. Where are you viewing us from? So we're going to give our audience a moment or two to log on and let us know where they're watching us from. And we're going to go around and have some opening remarks quite soon. But before we do that, let me just ask our guests to introduce themselves to you. Dr. Abu, please introduce yourself to the Sister Shanice Show audience.
Well, give thanks. Give thanks, Sister Shanice, Sister Sheila, Empress Nzinga.
Greetings.
And Sister Shanice, I mean, I'm Abu, a part of the galaxy vibration, the galaxy of Fui, a part of the African community, you understand? A part of the Pan-Africanist, see it, whatsoever we gravitate to escape, because the gravitation of escaping the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
I do not go on vacation because I do not vacate. You understand? When we go to Africa, I don't go on vacation. I go home. You understand? There was a time when the plantation owner had to vacate the plantation because we burn it down.
Hey.
And then use that because they don't want to make themselves look so inferior, running away from us. Today they call it vacation, and we run with the same concept. And go back to Africa, go on like I said, we are vacate. And we never vacate because we still go back.
We found our way back. Yes, we did.
Find our way back. So I give thanks for life that I can sit here today looking on four beautiful empress.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abu. Rise up yourself every time. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. We've been joined by Tia. Tia, welcome. Please introduce yourself and tell us what part of the world you're in.
Greetings, everyone. I hope you can hear me because I can barely
Well, your audio is a bit low, Tia. Please speak up. or turn up your device for us. So apologies,
Okay.
family. While us, go ahead, Tia.
Okay, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
A
you're
little
low, but
low.
we'll hear.
Still going.
Go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Portia Jazzy, and Tia is my stage name. I'm an R&B pop musician. I love all things music. I love being an African woman, and I love my genre of music because it's a lie around Western sounds as well as the African sounds. Because we're also trying to sell Africa to the rest of the world. So you want to create something that many cultures are able to understand, and you can only do that by mixing sounds, mixing the cultures. So my music is pop music, but it's got so much of the African influences in it. And I enjoy working with children in terms of their education. Um, I'm part of the Rapid Africa, and anything that has to do with the growth of Africa, I'm up for it. And I'm so happy to be joining you, Sister Denise. I'm from
Rise up.
Zimbabwe, by the way.
In Zimbabwe. Welcome. All the way from Zimbabwe. Tia, in the meantime, do what you can to turn up your audio device, to turn the volume up on your device, please. Thank you so much. Sister Sheila, how are you doing?
I am very. Did you say Sister Sheila or Sister Nzinga?
Sister Sheila.
Okay. I am very grateful. I give thanks for being here once again, another Wednesday. As I say, every strong, this is the highlight of my strong. So I give thanks. Rise up, Sister Nzinga. Rise up, Sister Tia. Rise up, Sister Shanice. Rise up, Dr. Abu. And rise up to the fellow listeners and viewers that always give us your time and your energy. We are going to have a brilliant time today. I am Sheila Chebet. I am in London, UKKK, as Sister Shani says. I don't know which K we stop at, so I'll say UKKK. I am a life coach for a life coaching school that I co-founded with a partner. And in the school, what we do, we teach life from an Afrocentric point of view. We are a school for Africans. We cater for the African people. We are African ourselves. And we started this school because we felt that we have been bamboozled. We are looking at the world through lenses that are not ours, through the lens of the oppressor. So I come to this show as an African to speak African matters with African people, and together, where all of us are gathered in the name of Africa, a lot of healing and enlightenment happens. I give thanks.
Woo, woo, woo. We give thanks for your presence indeed. Rise up, Sister Sheila. We've lost Tia there, but hopefully she'll be back with us quite soon. I can see someone at the back in backstage. Asaf, you'll need to put your camera on. Once your camera's on and I can see you're settled and ready, I will bring you on. Queen Mother Nzinga. An honor and a pleasure. Welcome.
Greetings and thank you, Sister Shanice. Greetings, African family. Dr. Abu, Sister Sheila, Sister Tia, and always Sister Shanice. Such a powerful sister, making such an impact on the world for our people. My name is, as you know, is Sister Nzinga Asata. I'm author of In Praise of Our Ancestors and Women in the Garvey Movement, the book and the poster. Most people who know me will tell you I'm a Pan-Africanist, Garveyite. I'm also a supporter of our local youth club where we provide services for mainly young African people. And I'm part of the Rapid Africa Plan. I'm also a staunch member of the Global African Congress, where we fight for reparations. And today we had a lobby of some of the MPs in the parliament around making them understand that we're not going to go away. This is a demand that is long overdue, and we're going to press it until it is met. Yeah. So good to be here and to share with the African family worldwide. And we hope to have a great meeting today.
Oh, thank you so much, sis. We are honored to have you, Queen Mother Nzinga. Yes, you know, we have to be lobbying, each and every one of us. We need to take up, you know, some form of action to bring about the changes that we want to see. Absolutely. Let's welcome our brother Kwame, all the way from Ghana. Welcome, brother Kwame.
Greetings.
Thank you so much, Sister Shanice. Thank you for everyone who is on the panel, Dr. Abu, Sheila, the elder Nzinga Asata. I'm really privileged to be here today, as always, to share and to learn. Yes, we are here for the Rapid Africa Plan today, and I think it is going to be phenomenal and wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, as always, great to have you on board and to hear, you know, from your knowledge and your wisdom. Oh, you know, so much for a young head. So thank you so much. Let's welcome our viewers. Those of you who are watching us from home in our audience, we thank you so much. Those of you who are logged in and commenting in the chat, thank you so much. Let's go over to the chat and see who we've got. So we've got Naja in the chat, and she says, wonderful, Sister Nzinga Asata. We've got Ruth, and she says she's tuned in from Kenya. Great panelist as always. Thank you so much, Ruth, and welcome all the way from Kenya. We've got Lady C, who's saying nice to see you, Sister Nzinga. We've got Travel Alone watching from the UK. We've got Brian. He's saying, looks like I'm tuned in at the right time. Yes, you are. He says, always loving the show. And tuned in from Kenya. Wonderful. We've got Obiaman in at the O's. And yeah, he's saying that Tia needs to get closer to her mic. We'll let her know when she comes back on. And I know that Obiaman, I listen from Yard. I listen from Jamaica. And we've got our sister V in the house, greeting us and all the panel members. And we've got Casey in the house and saying that the panelist is all looking good, watching from Kenya. Big up all the Kenyans in the house. We have Sister Afrijamo representing Ghana in the house via the UKKK. Hey, rise up, Sister Afrijamo. Rise up, Diana. Rise up, Last African from North Carolina. Rise up again, Obiaman from Yard. Rise up, Niger. Hey, rising up all the family in the house. Sister Claudette, Empress Culture from the Big G Galaxy, Afumi. Rise up yourself. Rise up yourself. And Last Action saying, one love. Rise up, Sister Shanice. So we're rising up the entire family. And we've got Lynn in the house who's watching us from the US. We've got Palisa watching us from South Africa. I'm going to ask our panelists for some comments about what's going on in South Africa right now. And please, Sis Palisa, let us have your comments about what's going on right now in South Africa as well. So family, we welcome you, Mr. African Roots, Black First, African First. And Ishfi saying, hi there, Sister Shanice and panel from the UKKK. So our audience are coming in. We've got 84 audience members in the house so far. And as you can see, we've been joined by another panelist, an opportunity to introduce himself. Welcome, Walter. Please introduce yourself and let us know where you are visiting us from on the panel today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Walter, as she just said. I'm residing in Europe, and more precisely, my host country is Finland, and I'm so delighted.
And good to see you.
We're delighted to have you on board. So you're currently residing in Finland via which African country?
Precisely Cameroon.
Cameroon. Oh, rise up, all our Cameroonians in the house as well. And we actually have somebody watching in from Vienna as well. So we love, this is a truly international audience. Okay, this is a free platform that I'm using. I can only have up to 6 panelists. I am aware that I've got a couple of other panelists backstage, and I'll be bringing you in and out over the course of the evening. Okay, we have a very important topic that we're going to be discussing today. It is concerning the Rapid Africa Plan and the call to action. There is so much that's going on around the world that's impacting on us as Africans, that's impacting on us as a people, wherever we are in the world. Be it the UKKK, where the racism has reared its ugly head as a result of football. Can you believe it? They have very successfully here in the UKKK managed to be kind of keeping the lid on overt racism for some time. But 3 young Africans who were in the final, who actually contributed to taking England to the finals, the European finals in football, all happened to miss the goal when, it came to the penalties. As a result,
ancestral work.
As a result, the racism that was unleashed here in the UKKK was unbelievable. And for those of us who know how Babylon works, that the UK are the belly of the beast. Well, the belly of the beast roared over the last few days, and these people who were roaring and practicing their racist taunts, I mean, they wanted to lynch every black person as a result of the outcome of this match. These are the same managers in the organizations, the same police officers in the police force, the same firemen, the same hospital workers, the same workers in the institutions that are making decisions over our lives, who wanted to basically lynch the N-word because, of our young lads from Africa who were playing on their teams happened to miss the penalty. And this is just symptomatic really of the racism that exists across the continent, across the world, because we're in a system, as we know, that is controlled by Europeans and is infested with racism. As Dr. Abu would say, racism is the real virus that we're suffering. And that racism that we are suffering in the UKKK and many of us are victims of around the globe is no different to what's going on in South Africa right now. Just before this show, I happened to see a news report, and in that news report, family, they had clips of African soldiers and European mercenaries, supposedly, whoever they want to call themselves, firing live ammunition at our brothers and sisters who are rioting at the moment. As we know, riots is a form of protest. Riots is the voice of the voiceless. And, to want to shoot and to kill and aim to shoot and kill because of property, when people are putting property before the lives of our people, I totally condemn it. It's totally unacceptable. There's absolutely no way that any government in the world should be allowing this to happen right now. Let me just run around the panel and hear what some of our panel members have to say about Wagwan in South Africa, or, if any opening remarks on any news that have impacted on you over the last strong that you want to bring to the attention of the people. Let me start from the bottom this time with Sister Nzinga.
Okay, family. Greetings. Welcome all the panel. 3 things I want to focus on. 1, the missed penalties was the ancestors, because we need to wake up. So many of us are asleep in this illusion of everything is good and nice. So that was a wake-up call for us from the ancestors. Anytime you see something happening, there is a reason behind it, and we need to look behind it. So that was one thing. We then had Haiti and what was happening in Haiti in terms of the US and the French and their interference in the management of Haiti and the killing, obviously, of the president. whilst we don't condone the killing of anyone, and especially people who look like us, we also have to look at the behavior of these people when they get into leadership positions. Are they serving the interest of our people, or are they serving Western interests and their own self-advancement? And coming on to South Africa and the arrest of Zuma and also the rioting that's going on, that I saw a clip just as Zuma was being taken into custody, and his supporters said very clearly that they were going to cause mayhem in the country. And, you know, I think as a people, we need to be more critical in our understanding. If the person did the wrong thing, then we need to call them out for doing the wrong thing. And, you know, we're not going to destroy our country and the places that we live because of support for the wrong thing. So that's the bits that I would like to share on that for the moment.
Thank you so much, Sister Nzinga, for those opening remarks there. Our ancestors said, no, you guys need to wake up, because had they got those goals, we would not, some of us, have realized the extent to which racism is still rampant in the hearts of the people who we're living amongst. True talk, Sister Nzinga. Brother Kwame, some opening remarks from you, my young king.
Thank you so much, Sister Shanice and our panel. Thank you for everyone who's watching us and patronizing us. What I can say about the issue in South Africa, I think it is we have forces which are at play, and always it has been these bourgeois forces that want to maintain control of the country's resources and keep the people in subjugation, keep the masses of the people in subjugation. So when you see the arrest of Zuma by, you know, a system which was left behind by apartheid, so you can know definitely that there is forces which are contending there, and it is mostly the bourgeois and the monopoly capitalism which wants to maintain itself. So mostly it fights against itself. Everyone is fighting for control. So we have blacks at the top who are fighting, you know, to stay in control, the bourgeois blacks, and then we have also the whites, the judicial system, which is for the whites, who want to keep the black bourgeois in check so that they don't take so much control, to the extent that they will be able to institute some measures for the black masses, because we have heard of the land reform which has been boiling and going on for a very long time. So they want to keep such things in check, whereby there will not be land reform in South Africa, and anyone who attempts to you know, to harbor those ideas of land reform in South Africa, they have to be, you know, handled in a very brutal way, or in a way which is which will put fear in the you know, in the hearts of the others who want to attempt to do such things. I can refer to Vietnam, for example. The reason why the United States went to Vietnam and fought so hard was to make sure that it bombs Vietnam, and Vietnam comes out as an example to other countries which wanted to stand up against imperialism, so that they can see. They wanted to make it as an example that people will fear, you know, to confront imperialism, to confront the United States. So this was the target. So these white monopoly capitalists, using their judicial system, this is what they want to do to some of these black leaders who want to put their heads out and try to fight for the people. But fortunately, the people will always win. They will come out and make their statement. So like what we have seen is that the people have come out on the streets to make their statements. The work of the judiciary, actually, according to philosophers, is not to give a fair judgment. So for this case, Zuma, they say that he did not agree. He did not turn up to the court. You know, when he was called to the court, he did not turn up. But the judiciary, according to philosophers, to judge according to the condition. You see, to give a judgment according to the prevailing condition. If you look at a condition that it is going to cause mayhem and destruction, however, that condition is just, you see, the judiciary is supposed to look into that system, is supposed to look into that judgment, and then come out with a judgment, even if it is unfair, which will cause peace, which will bring stabilization in society. So that is the work of the judge. The work of the judge is not to judge fairly, actually. I know this may sound, you know, new to people, but that is according to the philosophers. So the judge is supposed to look at the situation and judge accordingly. I will bring up the case of George Floyd. When George Floyd was killed, and I think the guy is called Chauvin, who killed George Floyd. They brought him to court. So when they brought him to court, our elder, Maxine Waters, the congresswoman, she said to the young people who were protesting the Black Lives Matter, and she told them that if they don't give a good judgment, which will favor us, if they don't favor us, I want you people to go to become confrontational. This is an elder woman who's a congresswoman. So the court judged according to the feeling, according to the heat, to the condition which is outside. You know, what the Black Lives Matter was exhibiting outside, because she told them to become confrontational and confront the system. So the work of the judge is to judge according to the condition, not necessarily looking at the facts which are, you know, on the paper. And lo and behold, they were able to convict, you know, this murderer who murdered George Floyd, because of Maxine Waters and what she said. So it is very important for us to understand that as the young people, confrontation is not necessarily bad, because it is what gives us results. We have this energy as young people. So if an elder comes out like this and gives this advice, and then the young people are supposed to follow it. And I believe that the elders, our elders, are supposed to be giving us this kind of advice, whether it is here in Africa, whether it is everywhere. That if you see that things are not good, if you see that the things are not going well in Africa, we need you people to become confrontational. That is the only way. All through history, that has been the only way of correcting society. It is not appealing to the people who are oppressing. So the people who are oppressing, their work is to maintain, their privilege, because these are privileged classes. They are taking salaries, the big salaries, big allowances at the expense of taxpayers. They are driving big cars. So they don't really care about the local people, the citizens, the masses of the people. And the only way the masses of the people can take what belongs to them is through confrontation. And for me, I think that is the phase where we are going. And that is the phase where we are supposed to go as African people all around the continent, if we want to bring about the issue of African unity. And we have Zuma. So when Zuma was convicted and people came out to riot, Then the court just this week came out and said that they are going to review the case. They are going to review Zuma's case. So they are thinking about releasing it because the only language, the people in power, the only language they understand is power. So they are trying to review Zuma's case so that they can, because the people came out. So this is a lesson. This is a big lesson to the African people and the African youth all over the continent and all over the world, that we have to come face to face with imperialism at the stage. You know, the stage where we have reached now is a confrontation stage. So we have to prepare our young people to come to confrontation with imperialism and neocolonialism. Because, to be honest, this is a system which has lost power. We just have to identify their corporations which are exploiting the continent, you know, and put a stop to them, you know, interrupt their activities which are going on the continent, boycott them, whether it is banks, boycott them. It is very simple for us even to defeat neocolonialism on this continent right now, because we have the tools, we have the information. So we list them, we confront them, and they will not stand. They will not survive on this continent. Glencoe, you know, Standard Chartered Bank, Barclays Bank, all these banks, you know, Stanbic Bank, these are all foreign European banks. DSTV, MultiChoice. We can list all of them and we confront them. They can't survive. These Europeans, they can't survive on this continent.
We hear you on that, my brother.
So I want to thank you very much.
Hit them where it hurts, in their pockets, absolutely, you know, and confront those who want to maintain the status quo and benefit from the riches of the land, and not allow the people of the land to enjoy it. We hear that, my brother. Let's bring in our brother Waters and have some opening remarks from him concerning any current affairs or issues that he has been particularly struck by over the last few days. Brother Waters.
I think I will begin by the great say that you can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. And from this standpoint, it will remind us that they themselves knew very well that there will be a time when the people will rise. And when the people will rise, no matter the force that you use upon them, you won't succeed. And this is the time that is coming closer. You see what is going on in the idea of the UK. I would just like to add small observation. You see, many people are so excited when football is going on in Europe. But each time when I see at it, I frown at it. This is because when I take a deductive reasoning, I try to find out what is this football all about? How is it benefiting us? People don't know very well that this football came as a result of the suffering of our brothers and sisters who were brought here to work for free. So they had to develop a lot of money and invest them into football sector. So when things like this are happening and people are happy, some of us are asking, are you happy what your brother came and suffered in the West for nothing? Is that what you are happy for? What is that benefiting us? So these are things that we need to already start making our people to understand, because Socrates made a statement that it is better to deal with a wise person than an ignorant person. Once we empower our people so that they are informed of what is happening, that is the very genesis of change. Because it's more about ignorance of what is happening. You know, people have been denied the truth. They have done everything to give a misinformation and disinformation to the people. But as you understand, the wise president saw it long ago and made a statement that you will not fool them all the time. There will be a time when they will come out and know that what you have been telling them is not correct. Your divide and rule will no longer work at some point. You see, I want to even begin in Cameroon before I go somewhere else. We know very well that the situation there is horrible, and that's where I came from at this moment. Cameroon, we are two of us. We inherited some kind of culture which they call French and English. But we are left back home there with about 200 languages and ethnic groups that were working quite well for us until this intruder came in with this so-called civilization. This is what is going on now. The former Secretary General of the United Nations, Don Hamajo, made a statement. He said, when you are trying to sandwich these two cultures that have lived separately, it's like struggling to force a balloon into an ocean. No matter what you do, that balloon will come out. Southern Cameroon existed on its own. French Cameroon existed on its own. We inherited two different cultures. We had a structure in place until the so-called United Nations came and forced us together. Coming together now means that we're coming with two different cultures. And these two different cultures has not worked. This is because the policy of assimilation was introduced. Instead of trying to see how we can live, so two countries to maintain their culture and grow in that development, one was trying to sandwich the other through this madness of assimilation. So for 50-something years today, the thing is not going. The people of Southern Cameroon have decided to say, no, we need a sense of belonging of our own. We need an identity of our own. We need to go back to the root cause, how we were before we even came into this union. And so it has sparked the whole atmosphere now dark. And right in the parliament, they didn't even want to discuss the issue until when one man rose and said, listen, I am going to quote, he quoted from, actually that quotation was from George Washington, from Thomas Jefferson. He said, when injustice becomes law, then resistance becomes a duty.
Mm-hmm.
And that the people of Southern Cameroon were going to resist. And even if you get all the French soldiers to come in, they will not succeed. Because one of the most notorious and the biggest problem of Africa is, as we are talking here, is France as the #1 architect.
Mm-hmm.
And his game has continued throughout Africa and other where his colonies. And if you realize the impact of this effect is mostly for Africans and the descendants of Africa where they find themselves. We just mentioned Haiti. That is exactly how they have been operating. So the situation now is the one that we have been fighting to make sure that things go the right way, and that province now has almost crippled the whole economy of Cameroon in such a way that even the French people that never wanted to speak about it, they are now talking about it. Mm-hmm. And then the president, they are making it impossible for him to survive. This is Paul Biya that has been in power for past 40 years. We are asking ourselves, good president come up in Tanzania. When they do the reform, that's the person, the imperialists look at him as bad person and do everything to bring him down. This is a dictator that has been there for 40 years. He's now dementia, but you people are keeping him there. What are you struggling to tell us? That you will continue to be fool all the time? It's not going to work. Anywhere he goes in Europe, now they say he has come to Switzerland. 500 Cameroonians now are marching to Switzerland to disturb him in that hotel, to send him out. Anywhere he goes in the world, he has no peace. And that's why you see Corona is a mixed blessing. Mixed blessing in the sense that it came at a time where it's not favorable to our health, yes, but it's also good because it has helped all those bastardized leaders down there to develop their country, to see that they also have hospitals that can put in standards that are better than what's in the West. So there should be continuous Corona for them.
Continuous Corona for them. Yes.
I wrote a poem this morning called "The Blessings of Coronavirus."
Yes, my friend, serious situation down there in Cameroon indeed. And you can see how, for centuries we've been able to live together, hundreds of different, cultures and languages and everything. We've managed to live harmoniously together. And now with, the imposition of the French and the British, look at the problems that we're having across the continent. We hear you on that, my brother. Let's go over to Sister Sheila for some opening remarks.
I give so much thanks for this platform. As I was listening to my people speak, I thought, what a wonderful, wonderful platform that we come to air our stories. We come to talk about what's happening to us from the very different platforms where we are, different countries we are, and we speak. And together we come up with this melting pot of ideas and diverse views of approaching the same problem. So I give so much thanks. We need more platforms like this. So Sister Shanice, big up. My panelists, big up. The viewers, big up as well. And I'm going to bring in some astrology into the mix in this, because astrology is African. We are the people that came up with the phrase as above, so below. So whatever is happening up there in the skies is happening with us, to us as well. And religion came and criminalized or demonized astrology. So around the 10th, 11th, 12th was the new moon. So the 10th was the new moon. And the new moon was happening in Cancer. Now, new moon is a time of new beginnings. Cancer is also ruled by the moon. The moon is our emotions. Whenever you have a new moon, it means the sun and the moon. I'm teaching you crash course in astrology. Whenever you have the new moon, because this is how we used to look at time. We used to use the moon to do time. We didn't use this Gregorian calendar, which starts in the middle and just displaces us completely. But I tell you, Babylon, they use the moon. If you look at the way they've been even giving the times in the UK, the times Boris Johnson has been giving his speeches on Corona and everything, they've always tied with something happening above. So he has been riding on the airs. They have a government astrologist, I bet you, because it cannot be coincidental. Even the time the time this Euro Cup has been playing, those dates has always been happening at a time the energies are in favor of them. So they have blinded us to astrology, whereas we have the phrase that says, as above, so below. So on the 10th, we had the new moon. The new moon means the sun and the moon are in the same sign. They were in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the sign of family, is the sign of emotions. And this Cancer is also ruled. Every house is ruled by a planet. So the moon rules Cancer. So the moon was in its home. So it was it was a time for emotions to be rife in the air. We begin from there. There is a planet called Mercury. Mercury was in Gemini. Mercury is also the leader of Gemini as well. And Mercury is when you say someone is mercurial, it's a very temperamental sign. So when it's in Gemini, it's also there's energies in the air at that time. At the same time, on 21st, on the winter solstice, I know many of you knew of the Aquarian age, and many of us did not know what that means. But at that time, we had many planets going onto Aquarius. Aquarius is the planet of the people. At the same time, we have Pluto, which stands for the government, which is Pluto destroys whatever it touches, and it has been in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the planet for the government, for authority. So all along this year and all along 2022, we have this, we call them squares, which is tension between what is in Aquarius, what is in Taurus, which is the earth, and what is in Capricorn, which is the government. So when we put new moon in the mix, and then we put the planet Mars, Mars is the planet of war. Leo is a house of fire, of leadership. Mars has been in Leo during this 10th, 11th, 12th. So it was a time whereby we were going to have fires, political fires, earthquakes, or earthly relationship fires. So people in relationship, be very careful at this time as well. Yeah, so a lot of things. So there was tension rife in the air already. So when this came, I am touching here what Queen Zinga has said. So when these things were happening, it was right on time. Right on time. As above, so below. But now the good thing about this, we're bringing now the December winter solstice and the Aquarian age. The good thing about this is that the old world is ending. It's being deconstructed, it's being changed. And we are birthing a new world. We are going through the labor pains. A new world is being born. But the thing we need to do as a people, we need to focus on this new world and don't hold onto the old world. We should hold on to the old world. And I say this, every new moon, whenever we have a new moon, as I mentioned, I run a school. So every new moon and every full moon, so the full moon is on the 24th. Every new moon and every full moon, I normally give a speech or a talk on what is going to happen and what to expect based on where the planets are based. And all this is to bring our people to know that we are not on our own. We have the cosmos behind us. The cosmos is behind us. So these energies are there. And because people have taken onto our culture, they're using it to their advantage while we are owners of this. So if we use this, things are aligned for us. So in my school, I had told them that on the 12th and on the 13th, we have something called the Grand Cross. And I said, whenever the Grand Cross comes, that simply means something big is going to be revealed in the world stage. I had also said on that 12th and 13th, Venus, the planet Venus, and the planet Mars, they were going to be conjunct. Conjunct means they come very close to each other in the planet Leo. This is also a very rare thing for them to be together there. And I said, when this happens, normally there could be fireworks happening as well. So in the UK, what we see, UK has always been adamant in denying that racism does not exist. Anytime you say racism is there, they ask you, where is it?
Exactly.
They tell you we have equality and diversity forms. They tell you we have a prime minister who is this, we have the mayor who's this, and we have this and that, and they tell you all these things. Then football happens. And as Queen Zinga said, on the world stage, the racism came. And it was so open that Prince William, the heir apparent, who never comment on political issues, had to come and issue a speech and say, this is diabolical. He had to distance himself from his people because these are their people.
Exactly.
At the same time, the prime minister who refused the players to take the knee at one time had to come and distance himself and say, this is atrocious, this is diabolical, we cannot accept this. So basically, the racism was brought to them in such open manner that there was no running away from it, that they could not say Britain is not racist. Because one thing is very clear, to play for the England team, you have to have the right to call yourself English, or the right to abide, to live in the England country, a country called England. So those 3 African players were there rightfully, playing as one of them. They were there to give their energy, to give their time, to give their own bit there. And the country welcomed them to take from them. And then when they end up missing on the penalties, we forget that football, to reach penalties, it means there had been 90 minutes of playing. People had been in that field. Why didn't they score? It means there was extra time, 15 minutes. Why didn't they score? So these penalties, which is a highly pressurized time, it's just a small, little, minute bit to blame the people that come to the end. What of the people that came from the beginning? Why aren't you blaming the people that were there for the 90 minutes? Of which there are many Caucasians there. Why aren't you blaming them? Why didn't they score? All 11 of them there. Why didn't they score? Why? Why didn't they do it? Now you are blaming these other 3 who, by virtue that they were playing for England, they deserve to be there. Why are you telling them, go back to where you came from? Well, you took them to play for you, aren't you? You are taking their energy, aren't you? So you see, these are the things that, as Queen Zinga said, these are
Sister Sheila.
Yes.
Sister Sheila, I want to emphasize a little bit that point which you made. Sister Shanice. Oh shit.
No, I
think we can hear you.
Sister Sheila to finish first, my brother, and then come in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so what I would like to say is that the comments that were made is as if these were intruders, as if these were just people that just came. These 3 African men just came from Africa somehow and reached and started playing, and now they made them lose the game, and now we should kick them away. We forget that they were there rightfully. And all of us that have lived in the UK or live in the UK, we know how it is. You have to prove to actually belong to one of their beats, one of their places. So these young men probably were the best of the best for them to even qualify to even play for England.
Yeah.
Now I am reminded, as I always give you stories, there's a time a snake, you know, the one that crawls, and they appeared somewhere in my village, and it was one of the snakes that, what they say, when it comes, it eats children. You know, the snake that eats animals and eats children as well. And the elders around say that when the snake appears, you cannot leave it. It was an angry snake as well. They said it's angry, but so they say they have to kill it. And the reason why they say they need to kill it is because it was either the snake stays alive and kills our children, or we kill it and our children survive. So there was no dilemma there. So they killed the snake. But as they were killing the snake, they said women and children and any weak person, they have to go all far away, because they said when the snake is dying, that is the time it's most dangerous. That is the time the snake can attack, and it can hit and it can kill more faster on its death throes than when it's alive. And they say the snake fights before it dies. And in Kenya, once the snake has already been killed, you do not even leave that dead snake. You have to pour paraffin onto it so that paraffin kills it thoroughly, because they say that snake, just leaving it like that, it will wake up and it will do one final kill before it dies. So even when you've killed it, you still pour paraffin on it and still chop off his head. And truly, when you pour paraffin on that dead snake, you see it moving, sometimes without a head. You see that body moves without the head. We are witnessing snake dying. These are the death throes of a snake.
Absolutely.
And this snake is not dying quietly. This snake is making sure it is taking people down with them. And my people, my African people, this is the time you focus. You focus on vibrating high. You focus on welcoming the new that is being born. You know, a new dawn is being born. And I finished with saying, I was watching Dr. Mumbi's show today. And Dr. Mumbi said that a lot of the information that was supposedly stolen was only like 5 or 10%. And most of the information was kept hidden in our DNA, in our blood. And this information is starting to come alive now. This information is awakening. And it's awakening by conversations like this. It's awakening by coming with our people like this. And we've reached that point. We are coming alive. And as we're coming alive like this, we should not be distracted and focus on the things that we are leaving behind. We are going through labor. A new dawn is being born for us as a people. We focus on that. And we know that all the cooperative components in the universe, they are beaming their positive gaze around us. And we are winning all these confrontations, all these fights, all these things. We are winning them. And it's about time. I give thanks.
Rise up, Sister Sheila. Powerful message to the people there. We are birthing a new dispensation. These are the birthing pains that we're going through. And Babylon, as it is falling, it is just throwing out fire and trying to consume all it can as it falls. Rise up. Brother Kwame's not backstage right now. Otherwise, I'd bring him in because he did want to come in. But in his absence until his return, let's bring in Dr. Abu. Wow, Dr. Abu.
Good family.
Good.
To each and every one, you know, we have to come out of the commercial happiness. You understand, you know, stop fool ourselves. I hear a lot of us was singing this football all in right through. It's a commercial happiness.
That's right.
Just imagine if England did win the European Cup. What do you think would happen? They would have to answer to your reparation. They would have to answer to a lot of things. That would have you in a superior position. They make sure that, because a lot of you think that the football game was England priority. That wasn't England priority. England priority is to keep black people into a inferior stage, not a superior stage. Why you think they don't answer to your reparation call? Because that would put you into a superior position. Why you think Germany changed the whole narrative in Namibia to fit there? So I know a long time that the whole football game and the election is commercial happiness. So when they use black people happy, and Monday morning, them is monkey to the society. Are they fools?
Exactly.
You know, the thing that touched me is some of us that call ourselves Pan-Africanists was swimming in the commercial happiness. And today, we want to talk about, they're racist. No. We don't know what they are. And we don't know who they are. So I never get caught up in that.
Me neither.
You know, and one thing we must understand, mobilization is not organization. A lot of you mistake mobilization for organize. It's not. Because a lot of time they mobilize us to even kill ourselves. We must stop fool ourselves. You understand, you know? I listen to what the panelist said, to what my brother there from Cameroon is saying. And this is how the colonial virus work. When them put England and the British and the France together. That is a virus there. You understand? You know? And if the people does not know who they are, they turn on themselves. You understand? It's just like if you have a lake. If you have a lake and it's drying up, it's losing oxygen. All the fish them get all cockeyed and they start to even yam one another, you understand? Because this is what happened to us as a people, blood. The trauma that we are going through. We go bumper any little happiness. A black man get married to a white woman and we happy. And that get married and we happy. We happy for every bloody thing, but we're not happy for ourselves, blood. You understand? And I give thanks. Over the weekend was one of our great events. You understand? Our Pan-Africanist game amongst our young people and us as a family. Because, when things happen, sometimes we have to be like a hole in the wall. Things happen to us, but not to us. Vodumaya. Vodum.
Vodum, Dr. Abu, rise up, rise up. Wow, wow, wow. For real, mobilization is not organization. As we can see right now in South Africa, our people are mobilized, they're energized, they're out on the street protesting, but it's not organized, it's not strategic, it's not targeted, where it needs to be targeted. So we're not firing, on target. We're missing the shots at the moment. But, I'm sure Sister Sheila will tell us, what the stars and the moons are saying about what's going to be happening next over there quite soon as well. Okay, well, family, I want to thank you so much for those opening remarks. It's just really a reminder as well as we ponder on what's going on in the world around us of the extent to which we are being impacted as a people by policies, by institutions, elites and armies and happenings that we have no control over. But as we're hearing, these are the latter days, Babylon is falling and, it's just hanging on to power and causing mayhem as it usually does, as it falls. So we will not despair. We will continue to fight. Of course, we've got to be organized. And we've got a massive event coming up on the 24th of July. And it is the All African People's Alliance Conference. And we really need everybody in the audience and everybody on the panel and for everyone to tell their family and friends about this event that's coming up on the 24th of July. Let me go over to our young brother Kwame Konza, who wanted to comment while Sister Sheila was talking, and then also at the same time invite him to tell us about the event that's happening on Saturday the 24th. But you can all join us via Zoom, and we look forward to you joining us via Zoom as well. So we also have a couple of people backstage who I'd like to bring on as well, who are going to be talking to this topic. But first, we've just lost brother Kwame Konza.
Yeah, you want me to speak to the... Oh, he's coming back, I think.
He's not back.
All right, let me speak to the event, if you'd like me to.
Yes, please, Sister Nzinga, please speak to the event.
So, family, you may have heard before, because we've been on Sister Shanice's program before, and Galaxy Afiwe, to announce the development of the Rapid Africa Plan, which is a plan created by Professor Hannington to industrialize and develop Africa within 40 years. And the aim of the Congress on the 24th of July will be to bring on board interested Africans who are seeking to bring the real change to the continent and real change for our people. We talk a lot. We say we want to do this. We say this must be done. That must be done. Here is a plan that has read the Riot Act. There's a book called Reading the Riot Act, and the Riot Act is about resetting the development of Africa under our terms, based on our strategies, based on our mobilization. There is a website that you can go to if you want more information on the Rapid Africa Plan. It's www.rapidafricaplan.org. It is a beautiful website with access to the registration for the conference. And by the end of today or early tomorrow, we will have an Eventbrite link that people will be able to register for the conference. And we also have a flyer that's already out. There's a pre-flyer, and then there will be another flyer coming out by the end of this week, highlighting the different people that will be involved in the conference. And we want all of you African people to come on board. This is your work. It's not my work. It's not Professor Hannington's work. It's not Sister Shanice's work or any one individual. Everybody must, Garvey said, organize now or perish. And we really must take up the mantle and look at what we can contribute. It doesn't matter how small, doesn't matter whether you think you don't have the skill, you have the skill. And you bring it to bear and join with other Africans to move this Rapid Africa plan forward. Go to the website, look at the information, inform yourself. You know, this idea that you're always going to be spoon-fed by somebody needs to go out the window. Do your research, investigate what is going on, and most of all, look at how you can become involved and seriously come on board to work. I am so tired of people just talking and, you know, not doing any work. We need to deliver the goods so that our people can have a better quality of life and not be living in poverty on their continent whilst other people are milking those resources. We have a job to do, and I want to see us all mobilizing and coming on board on the 24th to join up and join the All African Peoples Alliance to deliver the Rapid Africa Plan. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're not hearing you, Sister Shanice.
Take myself off mute. Thank you so much, Sister Nzinga. I was just backstage there doing some Zoom ads to the Eventbrite. Yes, let me go over and welcome.
To leave now, Sister Shanice, and go into the waiting room if you want to bring somebody else forward.
Okay, thank you so much for that, my sis. We've just lost Dr. Henry, so once he comes back, I'll bring him back on. And we've also lost our Sister Tia and Brother Kwame at the moment. So, you know, we're just struggling in some parts of the world with the internet. So let's bring on Brother Walter, who's also part of the the progressive movement, to industrialize, to see Africa industrialize within the next 40 years, part of the Rapid Africa Plan. Brother Walter.
I think that I want to thank the audience and just to rekindle this very precious information, because we understand very well that the standard of living in Africa will depend on the standard of living in Europe, but we cannot live at the detriment of others. So we must also have a sense of belonging where we cater for our identity and give a meaning to our life. When Chinua Achebe said things fall apart, this thing means that we existed in such a way that we had a civilization comparable to none. So things could not have been falling apart when nothing exists. It means that something had existing before falling apart. What was that that fell apart? That is what we want to bring back. And so we are thanking everyone who is listening to us there. We want to encourage all the other organizations that have a similar thought, that this is a big platform that we are calling on each and every one, so that collectively with our diversity, we can have a common front. And we have emphasized on the date, which is this July 24th. And we are talking here at exactly 2 p.m. UK time, which you can situate it in your different locations since we have different times in the world. But then we want to remark that we are going to disseminate information more. But of course, Rapid Africa is already there, and you could already stop by and get some more information already before we furnish you again with further information. So it is for this platform that we want to really thank each and every one and say that Africa is for Africans. And I feel that we have our own dignity and nobody has to define the way we have to live. All this changing of names and giving us names that we don't even know the meaning, we have to eradicate them and go back to the Genesis, whereby we inherited the names that had meaning and had some blessing to our well-being and our collective courtesy. So consequently, I'm encouraging each and everyone in all the nooks and crannies in the universe where you are all residing, that no matter where you are, whether you reside, no matter where you are, once you are an African, be proud of your identity because you remain an African and nothing else. Out of nothing, nothing comes. So this is our time. I'm encouraging everyone that they should pick up this day as a priority and make it a day. Those who are working, just have some day off. Come and listen to something that will spark your mind. Come and listen to something that will turn you around. Come and listen to something that will feed you with precious information and that you will be filled with a delicious sense of pleasure and you will see what it means, the dignity to be an African. They have reduced us. They have made us to feel that nothing is good about Africa. They have made us to feel that Africa is not good. When you see somebody struggling to paint another, when you see somebody struggling to give another attribute, it means there is something precious to that about that person. If not so, nobody will bother about you. So we know ourselves now. You can no longer fool us all the time.
Very, very true. Thank you so much, my brother. Time to be moving forward indeed. Looking forward to the event on the 24th of July. Let's bring in Dr. Henry, who we have, and we're going to just ask, we'll take up Nzinga's offer to go backstage and bring on our young brother.
One sec, let me just finish writing in the chat and then I'll be gone.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
putting the
Okay,
date and the time.
Thank you so much. Dr. Henry, welcome. Please introduce yourself to the family.
Thank you so much, Sister Shanice. I'm always happy, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show, and happy to be speaking to the world and Africa at large. I'm called Dr. Henry Clark Kisembo, and I am a financial economist. I am an industrialist. I'm a business person. I'm into consulting. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in Ubuntu. I live in Kampala, Uganda, and I travel a lot across the continent, running my business and interacting with many Pan-Africanists and young people, and trying to bring the continent together with different stakeholders in government, in private sector, and civil society. I'm also a senior member of the Rapid Africa Plan. So nice to be here. Thank you.
Great to have you. And, you know, Dr. Henry, can you tell us, why is the Rapid Africa Plan important? Or maybe just give us some broad headlines. What is the Rapid Africa Plan and why is it important? Rise up, Sister Nzinga.
You can send me off now.
All right, my sis. One love, one love. If we see you backstage, we'll bring you back on. Okay. Yes. So, Dr. Henry, please do share with us, you know, what is the African Plan all about? For those who don't know what the Rapid Africa Plan is, and why is it important?
It is important. The Rapid Africa Plan is really important to the African continent, the Africans, both on the continent and in diaspora, because it presents a plan for the industrialization and development of Africa, but also bringing Africa together. Africa should be united if it's going to achieve a common goal towards our own development. We should bear in mind, and I was tuned in listening to all the guests on the show. There's been a lot happening, and Africa considered a second-rated citizen or even third-rated. But I know that one of the strategies that was used in order to separate Africa and Africa to feel that they are in an inferior situation was the strategy of divide and rule. You know, right from history and the past, that all those who came to the African continent, they propagated the agenda of divide and rule, because it's very hard to to rule over people who are united. So when that worked, we saw colonial rather borders beginning to come about, different countries beginning to be subdivided and divided based on a plan that was done at some table in a boardroom somewhere off the continent. But that divide and rule started pitching one African against the other. And the moment you start pitting one African against the other, or one person against the other, making one to feel a little bit more of a higher status than the other, then already you're beginning to bring about divisionism. And divisionism, which starts to get into the mind, now becomes a culture. Once it becomes a culture, it also starts to affect the resources. We start to be affected financial resources, the resources endowed by nature. Africa is so blessed, it's gifted by nature. There are lots of resources, there are minerals, the weather is so nice, the environment, and you realize that the moment everybody starts building a cocoon that this is mine, I am Franco, I am Anglo, I am Portuguese, I am whatever, then you start to bring a division or amongst the people on the continent. And that is really pretty bad for the continent, because one is that the Pan-Africanism starts to get lost, or rather it gets diluted, but also the Ubuntu, because in Ubuntu we believe I am because you are, and you are because I am. I mean, I can't see my brother or my sister out there starving, and I'm going to leave them to starve. I call them in, and whatever little we have, we do share. And that is the unity we talk about in Africa. That's the culture of Africa. That's what we've lived for. That's what our ancestors have lived for. And I know wherever they are, they've been rambling in their graves or in the spiritual realm and saying, what are the current children of Africa doing? And that's where we come in and say that what we are doing is we are raising up. We have built and created a plan, which plan will speak to each and every African, whether on the continent or in the diaspora, such that Africa has a focus which is to industrialize the continent, such that our technology is African-oriented technology. It is appropriate technology built on the foundation principles and values of Africa. I mean, all these brands and labels that we dress up in, and we feel so esteemed about. What about the backcloth, which used to be the African identity? What about all those brands that we used to have? So we bring, as a Rapid Africa plan, a plan that has been crafted, thought through. However, this plan cannot be delivered to realize its goals and mandates without the whole of Africa as a continent being united. And that brings in what the predecessors here speaking have been talking about, the All African People's Alliance Congress, calling upon different organizations, different companies, different individuals to come together, and we get onto a grounded platform. Let us speak, let us dialogue, let us look through this plan and see what are the different bits and parts that we are delivering, and how can we unify all these efforts into one. Once we have a single voice, and this voice speaks for Africa, then Africa is going to be strong. It's going to be not only physically strong, but also a one voice in negotiation on different tables. You go to the Security Council, Africa can sit and say that this is what we want. We go into business, we say this is what we want. This is what we bring onto the table. We are industrialized. We can build cars. We can make clothes, we can build skyscrapers, all those what we see in the West, in East, in Asia, all that can be done in Africa for by Africans, because we have elite people, we have educated people, but also we have our own African appropriate technology and African learning, which is the Africanization of the education system of Africa. I mean, the pyramids, those who were the architects of the pyramids didn't go to some J League university to first study architecture and engineering to come and build the pyramids. I mean, it was created on the continent using the education of Africa. So we are saying that it doesn't matter what you are involved in, whether you're in business, whether you're into civil society or humanities, whether you're into government. Let us get together. Let us come as an All Africa People's Alliance. Let us convene and have to realize this plan that the Rapid Africa Plan has put together, because it has been well thought through, it has been well crafted. It talks about the economics, the financials, the resources, the people, the young people, the leadership, and all different aspects of humanity. This is the time that Africa should rise. I heard one of the speakers say that who knows the timeliness of COVID, but also my sister who was teaching us about the different astrology. I mean, there's a lot to learn from that. There's always a season and a timing, and now is the time. There's no time to sit back and say, no, me, I'm Francophone oriented, so this is what I believe in because I was assimilated. Me, I'm Anglophone. No, it is Africa. This is when we are filling out forms out there, even job applications, or whether you're going to fly, they ask you what's your descent. You'll have to put either black or African descent, which means that it's an identity. We have to appreciate and feel dignified in this identity. But the dignity in this identity is in one thing, and that one thing is a unified Africa and a unified continent that comes together under a plan that is already existing. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Academia could come, do the research. There's a lot, but this is what the Rapid Africa Plan is bringing, the All Africa People's Alliance, a call to every African, no matter the walks of life where you are. Let's come together. Let us convene on the 24th of July, 2021. Let us see what is the plan and how do we revolutionize Africa? How do we realize the industrialization of the continent? How do we make our currency strong to compete with the euro, with the pound, with the yen, with the dollar? I mean, this is what we are looking at. Thank you for now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Henry, and lots of comments happening in the chat there as well. So, lots of conversations going on there, but absolutely agree. Our unity is critical. You know, as I was saying on my show on the Big G Galaxy Afiwi earlier today, can't remember where I picked it up from, but you know, most of us are not going to be frightened of one bee, you know, one bumblebee. But when a million bumblebees come together, even the biggest, baddest, somebody's going to flee. Where did I pick that up from? Was that one of your stories, Sister Sheila, by any chance? So we have to come together, each and every one of us. you know, and the biggest and the baddest will have to flee. Organization is critical, as Dr. Abu was saying. It's not mobilization is one thing, but organization is another thing. Rise up, family. So hopefully by now everyone's got Saturday the 24th of July in their diary. Yeah, for now you can go to www.rapidafricaplan and get access to register. I have also posted the Zoom link now on the Eventbrite event, so you can actually go to Eventbrite as well and register for the Rapid Africa Plan event, which is coming up on the 24th, and we look forward to your input there. We have an individual in the chat who's making some, really off-key kind of remarks, but it's an indication as well of where the mind maybe of some of our people are at. Comments like, you're not African if you're not born in Africa.
Well, may I tell him different?
Absolutely.
We are Africans, not because we were born in Africa, but because Africa was born in us. Look around and behold us in our greatness. Greatness is an African possibility. You can make it yours. It's on the back cover of my book.
Come again with that. Sister Nzinga, take that again. You rewind and come again.
On the back of Women in the Garvey Movement by Sister Nzinga. We are Africans, not because we were born in Africa, born in us. Look around and behold us in our greatness. Greatness is an African possibility. You can make it yours. And that was from a book called Feeling the Spirit by Chester Higgins Jr. Thank you.
Ashe, 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 oh. So,
nobody can't take away our Africanness. So we're not
right.
people in our mind.
A Chinaman is a Chinaman wherever he is in the world. A Indian man is an Indian man wherever he's born in the world. An African is an African wherever they're born in the world. And don't let divisionism, try and fool us to think otherwise. We are one people as Africans, like Chinese are one people as China people, like Europeans are one people as descendants of Neanderthals. We are one people as the humans on this earth. So let's not get it twisted. And in fact, at one time, prior to the melting of the ice cap, the whole world was Africa.
Exactly.
We existed across the entire globe, okay? And right now, today, the plot of land called Africa is the only piece of real estate that we can still really call our own because of the mass genocide, the global genocide that's been happening for the last 6,000 years, that most of us are totally oblivious of. Well, the reality is that genocide has just morphed itself into a different kind of disguise. But, the genocide continues, but using modern kind of methods, yeah? And so we need to be aware of those range of different methods that's being used today as tactics to reduce our numbers, to sterilize us, to take us out before our time, to cause division and confusion, proxy wars, and all kinds of militia group activities, poverty, cholera in the water. The list goes on and on. Yeah, the war is still raging on against us, and it is taking on different shapes, forms, and disguises. And we are the victims of a wicked beast, that is sucking the life and blood out of this planet, from the oil to the gold to the diamonds to everything. It's a nyamitot, for their own individualistic, pleasures, for what they call wealth that they can never spend in a lifetime, whilst the majority actually suffer. So we're saying it's time to change. And according to the moon and the stars, change is inevitable. Change is happening. Change is gonna come.
Hey, remember Sam Cooke did say so.
Change gonna come. Dr. Abu, let's bring you in here.
We are amongst family, and I have to talk. frank to family.
Speak up, please, Dr. Abu.
I said I have to speak frank to the family. You know, Galaxy been pushing all of these things. You know, when you're doing something, we must complement one another. We come here talk about Africa plan when Africa is planning here, and when on your leaflet we don't even see us on it. We have to be, you see, we are not studying military science. We get captured under political science, but we are going through some heavy military situation. And if we don't understand military science, because no listener should call me, ask me why. We should have put all of those things in place, blood. We can't say that we are talking about unity. And a station that is in the UK for over 30 odd years, not on that leaflet. Don't, you know, see it. I have to talk, I have to tell you who I am. You know, see it, because on my bus, I don't leave no one. So I don't want no one leave me, blood. So remember that. I want you to remember. Show Galaxy Afiri some respect. You understand? You know, I'm speaking on behalf of the management and Chief Pakamabai, because you know how it feels to listeners out there. You understand? To see that we are stretching out our hand, but there's no hand coming back. I'm tired of well said. Well done is better than well said. Vodum. Vodum family. Vodum.
Vodum, Dr. Abu.
That can be corrected in no time, Dr. Abu. That can be corrected in no time.
Yes, yes. Rise up, rise up. That will be a.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm part of the Global African Congress. So I'm here as someone, GAC UK, have been supporting the Rapid Africa Plan from the very first time they came and spoke to us on our platform. So we decided to form a small group of, there was 5 of us that would support it and work with them to develop the plan, because we want to see Africa united. We want to see Africa developed. And so we have been putting in energy to give what we can to bring this into being. Now, it's an oversight. We can't put everybody upon the flyer, but as you say, somebody as important as Galaxy Radio should be on the flyer. And I agree with you, and we will speak with the management group and we will get that rectified. No big deal.
Yeah,
for real, for real. And I'm also on there representing Galaxy Afiwi as well. I mean, not even my logo on there, you know, them things, to be honest, you know, it just wasn't something that was at the forefront. But now you mention it, as Queen Mother said, we will get it addressed. And nothing that. We're going to get sorted. Rise up. Rise up.
He's a soldier, you know. When I stand by my post, I just truth I deal with. I don't let you the enemy. Simple as that.
Right, all right.
We can't handle truth. We're not Becks. We can't handle truth.
Yes, I'm on there representing. It's me supposed to pick it up, but you know, like I said, don't worry, that's gonna get sorted. So I think actually maybe there needs to be a page on the Rapid Africa Plan website that does actually have the logos of all the organizations that are involved in supporting the Rapid Africa Plan, because we want to see hundreds, if not thousands, of organizations partnering with the Rapid Africa Plan movement. And this is not the only plan. This is one of many plans that we as a people, you know, are behind and need to get behind. You know, there is the Africa Free Trade Agreement, which we as a people need to embrace and get behind and put in place our own structures and strategies for implementation. There is the ADDI plan, which is about engaging the diaspora in projects and programs in Africa on a business and an industrial level that we all need to embrace and support and must absolutely get behind. There is the United States of Africa plan the plan that is about, you know, bringing together Africa so that it has one borderless continent, has one economy, one currency, one legal system, one education system. So the Rapid Africa Plan is one of a number of major strategic plans, which is designed to bring about the change that we all want to see as a people. And we need to make sure that, you know, all the organizations across the globe, the African organizations in Europe, on the continent, in America and everywhere else, you know, gets featured on the Rapid Africa Plan website. So thank you for that, Dr. Abu. We're going to, you know, you've just raised something that we need to address. And it's going to get addressed. Yeah, man, come in, sis.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, the reason people may not be featured is there is a registration process when you go to the website for registering to be part of the All African Peoples Alliance. So until people are registered, that's probably why that hasn't been picked up. So just to say that if people could go to the website and register themselves, and the coordinator of the website will ensure that people are named and involved.
Yeah, and I could say that also
registered. Come in, my brother.
Yeah, sister. Yeah, I was saying that also as following Mama Queen Nzinga, that as institutions register and as institutions confirm their collaborations, of course there are many of them, the list will be on the website, the different institutions and organizations that are coming together, because like Sister Shanice, you've rightly said, there is a number of entities with different plans, and all these have the alliance, the All Africa People's Alliance, is to bring all these together and on one table and say, what is the plan? What's the plan you bring? How do we consolidate all this? But all these are going to be including the different individuals who are party to all this. Yeah.
Rise up, rise up. Let's bring in Sister Sheila. Sister Sheila, you've been hearing about the Rapid Africa Plan, one of a number of plans, you know, aimed at industrializing the continent. What say you, my sister?
I have so many things to say, and I will start by bringing up Dr. Abu. I will tell you a story as usual. In one of my, when I say the stories, it makes it easier for memory and the message gets in properly. In one, we are storytellers as Africans, and I am a storyteller. In one of my WhatsApp groups, we have people that contribute. You know, the people that are very active in the group, and anytime they speak, change happens. Change literally happens because they've got that gift that when they speak, change happens. So I was in such a group, and there was a certain queen that anytime she spoke, she brought in new ideas and change always happened. Now, as it was, another day from somewhere, another queen came into the group, and this one is what if Sister Najar is in the chat, she will know what I say when I say is a sister that had waswas spirit. Waswas is a spirit that destroys harmony. A spirit that comes and disrupts everything. So one of people was added in the group, or the person was always there in the group and never spoke, but this person had waswas. So this person decided that day she was going to unleash that waswas to the group. And she decided she was going to attack the most active member of the group, the sister that speaks, and change happens. So she brought in the waswas. And she went in hard and hard on the sister that speaks, and change happens. I came into astrology because of this sister. That sister has opened so many doors for us. She speaks, and I say she speaks and awakens something in you. So this one with the waswas came and spoke and went hard and hard. And there is an admin in the group. The admin is usually very quick to bring order into the group. But at this point in time, the admin was very silent. And I think the admin was silent for the sole reason he may have been attached to this sister with waswas for one reason or another. So anyway, a few of us came in and said, I even came and I said, make me an admin so that I remove this person with waswas. You know, they are bringing disharmony in a group that's very harmonious. The fight went on with the admin very quiet. In the end, the sister that had been very instrumental in our growth and learning left the group because of this attack. So we remained with the group with this disharmonious sister, and the sister that had been growing us has left because the group has become hostile for her. So we ended up losing, and we ended up, complaining here and there. And in the end, several of us ended up leaving. Eventually, the whole drum of WhatsApp, we were added back, and the sister with us was left. So why I'm bringing this here in this particular time is about knowing who to bring about when you are building something up. So if Galaxy Radio and Dr. Abu and Sister Shanice have been very instrumental in awakening our people, certainly I have awakened greatly by being on this space, then when we come up with new ideas like Rapid Africa, we have to recognize them. We have to make sure that we are honoring them. We have to make sure that we are bringing them up and placing them there as an honor to them, but as also as a thing whereby you are adding more. Whenever you give gratitude to someone, you're adding more to that person so that person can give more. As an African people, we have to learn to do that. We have to learn to oil the hand that feeds us. Gratitude, appreciation goes a long way. And now I come to this concept of Rapid Africa. And I think it's a brilliant, brilliant concept. Sister Nzinga, you are speaking my language. Brother Dr. Henry Clark, you are speaking my language as well. It is a great concept. But as it is with these things that we start as an African people, we always have to bear in mind that they should not take the framework of what the Caucasian do their way. One thing with the Caucasian is they make a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of red tape, and you're told, go here, get this, put it here, put this there, and everything. And that in itself becomes kind of like institutional racism because it locks a lot of people up. Because there is so much bureaucracy and red tape. It is what in life coaching we call justification of effort. So justification of effort is whereby you go through so many loops and holes and hoops and jump to get inside somewhere. Whereas sometimes getting inside somewhere is as simple as knocking, knock, knock, come in. Not do this. Then after you do this, will lead you to this step, and this will lead you to this step, and this one will lead you to this, and this will lead you to this, and this will lead you to this, and this will lead you to this. I say this because I see a lot of African ventures that have started, but they followed into that format of the Caucasian one. And the Caucasian system just does not work for us. So it has required so many details from us, needing us to have this and have that and have this and have that.
We don't have none of that.
So that is great. I'm grateful, Sister Nzinga, if it is straightforward, whereby it's a straight process.
It's very straightforward.
It should be that way, straightforward, whereby we come in and we know this is what you're coming in. And I love it that you said, even if you've got little, you think you've got little to contribute, just come in regardless.
Absolutely.
So when we have a process that is as open as that allows us, all of us to come in, that's very welcoming to all of us, that is how we grow. And for the people that are listening, this is something that we need to forward to our people. We need to inculcate that spirit in us. When we see something that's ours, we forward it and we encourage it. We just don't forward. We also encourage and say, there is this happening on this date. Can you create time for it so that we can all join in? As a people, we have been conditioned to see the negatives of everything. It's a condition that is unnatural to us. It is a condition that is part of the trauma that manifests itself in us. This is not how, as we are as a people, we are a positive people. However, because of the trauma lens we look at things, we see negativity. So there are some people who see yet another African venture and they will say, oh, another one. It is not going to go anywhere. And at the time they say that, that is the negative energy they are now feeding. Not that it was not going to go anywhere, but at the point they said it's not going to go anywhere, that is exactly at that point that things start going wrong. So for our people, whenever we see any venture, even if it's the 1,000th one, even if it's the 1,000,000th one, we should know, you know what, there is abundance in the universe to accommodate all of us. All of us. And any venture that is started on that positive platform, that venture is designed for us. But one final thing, we should always go for change. We should not go for improvement. Because here where we are at this point in time, we don't need to improve our situation. Improving means that that system that's already there, we are just trying to make it a bit better. So if you're a slave, you're trying to make yourself that you're a slave that eats at least 2 meals a day, or a slave that maybe gets paid for 1 day of the 7 days you work. No, we are saying this is a change. A change simply means you're getting rid of what's there completely and saying this is not working, throw it away, and you bring in a new thing in altogether. So I big up all our people that are doing something about it. You know, instead of talking, you say, we're going to try this and we're going to start this, and we support you. We give thanks for that, and we are here. Thank you.
Can I just say one thing, Sister Shanice, in line with what Sister Sheila has just been saying? I want to big up Sister Teresa, Sister Joan, and Brother Glenroy. I'm telling you, we've got some determined warriors in our community who, you know, they've come behind this plan and have really stepped up to the plate to put in energy and effort. And, you know, we give thanks.
Yes, we do indeed. You know, we have got to be the change that we want to see. Absolutely. Thanks for the contributions and input from one and all. Also, thanking everybody in the audience as well for their continued input, and lots of discussions going on there as well. Want to rise up Happy Companion for his contribution. Do check out his YouTube channel as well. Also want to rise up Brother Jeff, who donated as well to the works a little while ago as well. Rise up Brother Jeff, who is also a regular caller on the Big G Galaxy Afiwi, the only de-brainwashing station. He was on my show earlier. And for those of you who want to join me on the Big G, you just have to get the link. Just go on the internet and Google galaxyradio.com, and you can listen to us live. I'm on a Wednesday, 10 a.m. UK time, and also on alternative Saturdays from 10 a.m. And so I'm on this Saturday coming. You can also get Dr. Abu on the Big G Galaxy Outfit Week. Dr. Abu, you want to let the people them know when they can catch you on the Big G?
Monday from 4 to 7 alongside Jammers, and Friday from 3 to 7. Sunday morning I'm on from 8 to 10. You know, I just want to say, Sister Shanice, you know, the Africa plan, you know, what is there? It is there to bring out the true purpose of us. You understand, you know, because the system that we are in kill our purpose. That's why that's why a platform like this bring out the true purpose of us. You understand? So anything that bring out the true purpose of us, we got to support it. You know what I'm saying? But we got to think military science, African military science, because we are under attack.
That's right.
We most definitely are, Dr. Abu. And, you know, as I was saying earlier, there's been a war that's been waging against us for 6,000 years. A war that has continued until today, that the vast majority of our people, you know, are oblivious of, because, as you say, Dr. Abu, we are being entertained. How did you put it?
Commercial happiness.
We've been commercially, we've got this, you know, commercial happiness situation where we can watch football and go, yeah, until they start calling us racist names. And we're entertained on the television, we're entertained on the radio. You know, there's all sorts of distractions going on to keep us commercially entertained whilst, you know, we're losing our land, whilst our people are being murdered, whilst our people are being sterilized, whilst, you know, our water is being poisoned with cholera, whilst, you know, our heart machines are being used to cause earthquakes and tsunamis and all sorts of atrocities on our land, while we as a people are being oppressed and exploited, and you know, the elites in all of the countries are growing stronger and continuing to suck the belly out of the countries. You know, there's hell happening. We're living in hell. And most of us don't realize it. Well, because we're there waiting to go to heaven. Heaven is here on earth. Heaven is
That's
what
right.
There ain't no white demon that's going to drop out the sky and come and save any of us. No, but no, that happen. We are got to be our own saviors. Only we can save ourselves. Exactly. And to all of those who realize that they have been given all that it takes, the power, the strength, the wisdom, you know, to be able to be their own savior. Rise up yourself. You know, all the warrior spirits, rise up yourself, because it's that same spirit that freed us from the bondage that we were in for over 400 years. Had it not been for that revolutionary spirit, had it not been for those who decided they would rather die fighting than live a life as a slave, that they would rather die standing on their feet than kneeling on their knees. You know, all this taking the knee as well. No. And on the knee we for take. We for stand and hold up our hand and hold up our head. All this taking the knee. We not nobody for nothing.
No serve no purpose.
Oh yes. Wow. Let's bring in Brother Walter. Rise up, Brother Walter.
Yeah, Sister Shanice, I just wanted to just add briefly that you know, the science of the flowers and the bees. So the reason that bees go to the flowers is because the flowers have some sweet nectar. Otherwise, if there was no sweet nectar, the bees would never have gone there. So there must be a reason that all the world out there, different continents, are scrambling and rushing into Africa. Now, yeah, there must be something attracting them. So why don't we protect that which is attracting others? Because when the bee comes, it sucks the nectar and flies away. I mean, which means that it has taken what belongs to the flower. So we as Africa should rise up and know that there is something valuable that we are having that the world needs, and the world needs us. We may not really go to scramble for what is in their place, but they need us. They can't live, they can't exist without Africa. So we have to protect what is ours. We have to see value in it. We must protect our people, our resources, and then see that all this benefits the African person in us, whether you're on the continent, whether you're wherever in the world. You're not an African because you're on the continent. You're the African because of the African in you. So basically, we have to protect that which attracts those who come and they want to take it, because we can also produce our own goods and services on the continent, and we supply the world. And this is the richest continent on the universe. So we should never even undermine ourselves. We should hold ourselves in great gratitude and also know the value that we have. And we should fight and stand up for our rights and stand up for that nectar which the bee is coming to suck and take away. Yeah, that's what I've submit, my sister.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Africa, sweet like honey. Hey, all of the bee that want come suck out everything where we are.
Exactly.
Yes, my friend. You know, and some of us did that, we don't even know, so we're in heaven. Because people tell us we're in hell, we believe them, you know, without realizing that they're all coming to get the sweet, sweet nectar from the beautiful flower on the continent there. We haven't heard from our Brother Walter for a little while, so let's bring in Brother Walter. Then we go back over to our Queen Mother in Zinga, and back to Sister Sheila and Dr. Abu.
Excellent. First of all, just to acknowledge, this is just to acknowledge my presence into this precious platform. I never knew that there was something golden existing like this. Thanks to the thanks to galvanize all from all the nooks and crannies, we begin to see the beauty of diversity and what our heritage was all about. So I really want to acknowledge Sister Shani, for this such a wonderful piece of exposure. Through this window, I think we'll be able to tell people who we are, what they should think about us, or what they had conceived about us. We are going to make them to understand that they can have their own belief, but we have our own belief, and that's what is more important. But then again, if we want to understand what is going on, I will continue from where Doctor said about the beauty or the juice of Africa. The great philosopher John Beatty, a Kenyan great mind, said, Africa is notoriously religious. This to tell them that before they ever came with their Bible, we had been long religions. And that's why you see that even in Christianity, Jesus Christ took refuge to where it was peaceful, to where it was receptive, and where it was comfortable. He would have gone to somewhere else. But because they know that Africa is the place, he escaped to Egypt for shelter. So there is no dispute about that. You begin to see what is going on. Even when they are talking about civilization in the world, the pyramid fall among the 7 wonders of the world. What have they ever done that for within the 7 wonders? Nothing. So you can see what Africa is all about. So they have done everything for so many years to eradicate us. The more they do, the stronger we become. And so I don't even know why they cannot just humble themselves and say, no, we have done everything that we could, but it's impossible. I remember when Lord Macaulay made a statement in 18th century. I have traveled to the depth and the breadth of Africa. I have not seen one single poor person. The kind of civilization and moral uprightness that I find in these people, my God, it would be impossible to break them. Best talk of their education. The only way we can do is to give the impression that what we have is better than us, and they will lose their self-instinct, and then they will become contact people. So they themselves knew very well who we are. Look at what is happening. They came to Africa, and what they are, they loot. How can you call people filthy? How can you people call people uncivilized? Yet you go and loot beautiful work of art in Berlin and flow with it. So you admire the dirty thing that people do, and I mean, what a contradiction. For how long are you continue to fool the people? However, from the mouth of your own brother made it clear, you can fool them, but some of the time, but you will not fool them all the time. And the time is now. We have come to understand ourselves, and there is no turning back. It is forward ever, backward never. I don't need to be in CNN again. If I knew that we had a CNN, why would I be running there? I didn't even know that this is a great platform. So let's see what is going on. Please, we need to reach out to all our brothers and sisters where they are, so that we know exactly what is going on. All the discoveries were done by us. They simply took those credits, gave their name into it, and gave the impression to the world. So we know we are not going to read what they write. We are going to do our research and publish what is true. So that's why they will understand. In fact, I just want to be said before before this program comes to an end, I think I've already recorded this great platform. It's not going to end here only within. In fact, I'm going to really act as a multiplier and a goodwill ambassador to disseminate the information of what I have discovered. Thanks 1,000 for today.
Thank you so much, my brother. We look forward to you joining us every Wednesday here on the Sister Shanice Show. Please do share with the family and share with the friends. And you're right, absolutely right. You know, we have been, bamboozled for far too long. You know, they have been giving us the impression of inclusion, the illusion of inclusion, when in fact, they have been integrating us into a burning house. Well, the fire that we have been getting for the last 2,000 years at least, since the Arab invasions and then the European invasion, with this fire is too hot for us. This has been our hell. And now we are saying time for change. We don't even want equality anymore. We don't want to be equal, to
criminals.
And criminals and thieves and looters and rapists. We don't want to be equal to them and all of that. We want independence, total independence. That's what our revolutionary freedom fighters fought for, our freedom. They did, you know, the hard work of chasing, you know, those apartheid, you know, enslavers and colonialists out of the front door. But before we realized it, there were some of us who were letting them back in the back door again. Well, you know, that means that the work hasn't finished as yet, and there's still a huge amount of work to be done. We need total independence. We need to take control of our land, control of our industries, control of our economies, control of our legal systems, control of everything. I'm going to leave it there for a moment and give our sisters an opportunity to come back, and Dr. Abu as well, because wow, time is just flying by. Sister Nzinga, as always, Queen Mother, a privilege and an honor to have you on board. Let's have a few closing remarks from you.
Definitely. Well, to be honest, we've said it all, but just to sum up, I want to encourage everyone to mobilize behind the Rapid Africa Plan. Garvey said, if you want leadership, you yourself must strike the first blow. So all of us are a collective of leaders. We all have something to contribute, and we must bring it out and put it in the service of the growth and development of Africa, so that Africa will be once again for Africans, those at home and those abroad, and our people will be able to live in comfort and harmony and not be suffering the indignities across the world that we have been subjected to. I thank you.
Oh, thank you to Asheo. Sister Sheila. Let's bring you in here, my sis, for some closing remarks.
I remember a few months ago, last year, when the story of the masks started coming out and people said we may need to wear masks. I thought, what an odd thing. Why would anyone want to put anything on their nose or their mouth? And I thought this idea will never take hold. Then the one person started wearing the mask, and the second person did it, and the third did it, and the fourth, and before you know it, the supermarket said wear masks, then the buses said masks, then trains said masks, then planes said masks. So some of us that very rarely put on masks unless it's really necessary, I'd rather not just go anywhere than put on the mask, we now become a rarity. We are the odd ones out. That the people now that wear masks are the ones that are commonplace. They are now the norm. Whereas us who don't wear masks are now the abnormal ones. It wasn't like that a year ago. A year ago, no one wore masks. So this just shows the power of that one person starting something. It's the bumblebee you were talking about, Sister Shanice. So yes, it is my story, as you said. So you just require one person to start doing something, and another person joins the person, and a third one, and a fourth one, and a fifth one. And as we see with the mask, it can start with a negative thing. So it can be one person saying something negative, and that builds momentum. It picks momentum. And then before we know it, we are in this negative space. So it is the same way to the positive. And certainly it's easier to spread positivity because it's more aligned with us as a people. So that one person shares that positive message, as our brother is going to share the positive message with others in Finland. And then others, carry on and carry on and carry on. So my message to you, my people, is that positive message about African people. It could be the Sister Shanice show you're talking about. It could be the Rapid Africa. It could be Queen Zinga's book. It could be anything that is just promoting an African. Just one person, start putting out that positive message, and another one will pick up, and another one will pick up, and before we know it, we'll be in this positive space whereby we are boosting our people, and together we are growing. Vudum.
Vudum, rise up together. We are growing indeed together. We're moving together. And, family, thank you for all the comments in the chats as well. And what I really appreciate, love, is if everyone in the chat, after the show finishes, if you could go to the description underneath the video and just share your opinions and thoughts about today's show. That way, when people pass the channel, ones on ones like Brother Water, because of your comments in the description under the box, they might think, hey, I better tune in and see what's going on around here. Yeah, so, everyone in the chat after the show, please do put your comments and remarks in the description on the main page on the Sister Shanice show under this show, and previous shows as well, if you've been in some of those shows. So, Dr. Abu, some closing remarks from you, my brother.
Give thanks. It's all about the family. And I've just meet two of my brother. You understand? And it's a beautiful reunion because this is what the Africa plan is all about, to build a family. You know, I already have Sister Nzinga as a big sister. I know she do, but it's a pleasure. And Sheila and Queen Naja and Kweko, and but to have Brother Walter and Brother Henry, you know, is a journey that we'll forever walk. You understand? So I give thanks. I give thanks for the Galaxy family. And I give thanks for the African family. And we say Voodoo.
Voodoo.
Voodoo, rise up, Dr. Abu. We give thanks to you as well. We appreciate, love you so, so much. So Dr. Abu here, you know, one of our resident panel members here on the Sister Shanice show. And you can catch him also on the Big G Galaxy Afiwi, the only de-brainwashing station. Let's have some final words from our brother doctor in the house.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll just call upon all Africa, wherever on continent or offshore, not on the continent, in different continents, that on 24th July 2021, the All African People's Alliance is happening. It's going to be massive. Just visit the Rapid Action Africa Plan website, register, get the Eventbrite, register, go to the Facebook page of the Rapid Africa Plan, visit YouTube and register, just follow Rapid Africa Plan and then join the alliance, the All Africa People's Alliance. However, I would like to say as a final remark that to be small or big or equal or unequal is in the mind. Sure. So Africa, we are not small, we are not unequal, we are not a second citizen, and we should get that out of the mind. The moment we get it out of the mind, I know that Africa, we have all that we need. And that's what attracts the world to Africa. They even relocate to Africa. We get it into our minds that we have something the world needs and appreciate that about ourselves. Then that is when Africa is going to stand up and say, I am African. I'm not shy about being African. I don't feel small about being African. Wherever I am, I'm going to move with my head high, but it is in the mind. The attitude should change. The young people, the attitude should change. See opportunities on the continent, the resources which are under the ground. We industrialists are going to come to the alliance, work together and turn those into resources that are going to create jobs, massive jobs for the millions out there. We are going to look at what was the curriculum of the African education, the Africanization. We have to go back to the roots of Ubuntu. I am because you are, and you are because I am. And with that, I say that Harambe and Voodoo and Arise Africa.
That's right.
Harambe! Harambe! And I say, Harambe. Yes, indeed.
Harambe.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And let's get some final closing remarks from our brother Walter as well.
Absolutely. It's so great to meet people from different diversity, but with one common sense of belonging, which is that of Africanness. So we see that despite the fact that we have grew up in our host countries in the different parts of the world, it has not interrupted us, our deep sense of belonging. You can already feel that impact already. So it is not something that is inborn, which no academic can ever change or bring into. You cannot be bringing something into, it already existed. So out of nothing, nothing comes. So it was. So I'm so delighted, and I cannot hesitate to meet brothers and sisters at every time of my that is necessary, so we can really share common values, feel our belonging, look so happy, and graduate from this individualism, which is completely different from our identity. So we were born like rigorous animals to laugh, to be sociable, to move on. Not where you find yourself in an environment that you greet people, they are asking, they are wondering why you greet. In fact, people are frowning from Genesis to Revelation. In fact, this is not part of my identity at all. So I feel my belonging, and I think that I don't need prayer this night. I just need to go to bed because this is enough prayer for today.
And just call the ancestors.
Yes. And we're ending where we started, with the power of the ancestors. Those three young lads, they missed the net, not because by design, but because our ancestors decided that they need to expose something and they needed to reveal something to us as a people. Had they scored those goals, they would have been celebrating alongside us as a people. We would have thought, many of our people would have thought, hey, these guys are really good. They really love us. You know, racism's gone. Tony Stewart got it right with his report. You know, there's no longer anything such as institutional racism. There's no longer anything such as, you know, direct racism, or, you know, it's all gone. Yeah. Well, our ancestors decided otherwise. We needed to see the real color of the belly of the beast. Yes. And that lynch mob soon came out of them when those young boys missed the shot. Dr. Abu, did you want a final word? I can't remember if I gave you a final.
Yeah, man, you did. Yeah, man,
I
you did.
did.
You did.
I've been around the table. And so in the absence of Tia, who was having some connection problems, we want to thank her for joining us for a short while. Also to Brother Kwame, who unfortunately was unable to join us again after, you know, experiencing some connection problems. But we want to thank them in their absence for joining us here today on the Sister Shanice Show. I want to thank all the audience, to all of you who have been sharing, to all of you who have given us a like. Thank you so much. If you've yet to give us a thumbs up, we have far. Come on now, please do give us a like, give us a thumbs up. It's absolutely free. To all those who support me on Patreon, thank you so much. To those who are yet to support on Patreon, come on, y'all. Show a little love. It's all good. So rising up the entire.
Give a big up, Sister Shanice, to Brother Mau for his contribution.
Yes, indeed. Brother Mau, big up yourself. Queen Naja, big up yourself in the chat. More love, more power, more voodoo to the entire family. And we'll see you black here, same time, next strong Wednesday at 8 p.m. for another deeply insightful, you know, hard talk, African style. Voodoo family.
Voodoo. One love.
Voodoo.